Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Qigong Along With Me. We're going to talk a little bit about how we work with healing processes. Now, I'm a certified Spring Forest Qigong trainer, and I'm also a certified Spring Forest Qigong healer. And it took me a while to wrap my head around the term healer. But you were born a healer, and I was born a healer. We all have these skills in us. We just have to learn how to use them. And one of the things that we do is as we start to understand the Qigong principles, we're actually understanding the principles of the universe, the principles of abundance and attraction, and also the very, very powerful principle of visualization. Now, I'm reading a book right now called The Genie in Your Genes, and it is a bunch of scientific studies about how our visualization and how all of this energy work that we're talking about works, like the science behind it. Random controlled double-blind studies using these things and proving the efficacy of these things. Now, the proof and the worldwide acceptance are two different things. It usually takes 10 or 15 years for this scientific proof to be then accepted into real life and accepted as truth. One of the things I was just reading about was the fact that in the 1800s, late 1700s, early 1800s, that there were many people that were dying of illnesses, but they're actually dying of infections because the surgeons weren't washing their hands. Simple hand washing, which now we know and understand as, sanitization before surgery is an absolute given. But back then, they were considered to be heretics if they thought that, if they were telling you that you should wash your hands from when you go from one patient to the next. So it takes a lag time for truth to be accepted as truth, basically. So visualization is very powerful, and we're going to get into a practice in a second, but I want to tell you about a study that was done with basketball players, professional ball players. And because they wanted to test the visualization techniques and how that might change their actual outcomes of their sport. And so they took a baseline reading of, I think, 3 groups. And they took a baseline reading of their free throws. They took 100 free throws, see what their percentage of success is. And then they split them into 3 groups. One of the groups practiced 3 free throws for half an hour a day for 7 days. One of the groups visualized themselves practicing free throws for 7 days, for half an hour a day for 7 days. And the third group did nothing. And then they came back together and they assessed, they took that baseline again. Do you know which group improved the most? It would be surprising. The visualization group. They improved 30% more than the group that was actually physically shooting. So our visualization is incredibly, incredibly powerful. And when we do healing spaces and healing work with Spring Forest Qigong, what we do is we don't diagnose anything, we don't prescribe anything. Well, we prescribe Spring Forest Qigong practice, so but that becomes universal. And I don't have a lot of time to explain all of what that means. So come take the class, the level 1 Qi activation class, because it really does give you, in an 8-hour time period, which we can cut over a couple of days if you wish, gives you the real science behind that in an incremental way that helps you understand, this is how this stuff works. I'm a science geek. I love it. Anyway, so I digress. What we do when we're doing a healing practice, and you have the capability of doing this too, it's simply honing the skills. And so I'm going to give you one of the basic little skills. We have fingers. We have here what we call sword fingers. And I'm not going to describe exactly what's going to go on with as we hold them here, but in these sword fingers, we can envision light coming out of them, going back to the ends of the universe. We're always talking about the ends of the universe, the emptiness, the space out there, because that's where everything comes from, and that's where everything goes back to. That emptiness. Everything is from the emptiness. Everything goes back to the emptiness. So when we use our visualization, we're always bringing in information from the ends of the universe, and we're always sending extra information and extra energy back out to the ends of the universe. So What we're going to do is we're going to take our sword fingers, and I'm going to just step back just a little bit here. This increases our visualization, our practice of visualization, which can increase our healing power and our healing energy. And so we're using our mind here. So I'm going to just kind of be a little bit angled here so that you can see my hands. So we're going to take our fingers. First of all, we're going to bounce, and we're going to set an intention. So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're releasing extra energy now, and now you're going to let go of what's going on in your day and let go of your, well, you don't have to let go of your skepticism. You can keep it if you like, but just let go of any extra energy and bring yourself, the bouncing resets our polarity, resets our magnetism, and brings us in connection with the earth, in a magnetic connection with the earth. We're going to allow our hands to float above our head, which is going to bring us into an electromagnetic connection with the universe and the heavens as well. So in this space now, I felt myself slowing down in the bounce. And the elbows are loose and the wrists are loose. Our bounce is coming out of the knees. And our hips are soft and loose, and our pelvis is tipped underneath. It's not tipped forward so that our hips can be functioning and movable. And we're allowing our hands to drift back down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. On the next quiet exhale, we're going to come into a quiet stillness. And this position is called beginning of the universe. Your elbows may have floated away from your body a little bit. You'll feel that your fingertips are tingling. Your palms might feel full. This is your chi. You have activated your chi. And see in your mind behind your eyes an empty space. This is the emptiness, the beginning of the universe, the beginning of all things. In this emptiness, there is unconditional love and all possibilities. And as we come into this empty space with the intention of learning to help people heal and learning to help ourselves heal by connecting with the laws of the universe, by connecting with the power of the universe. We give a password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together as one. And now we set an intention, and we set it with a master. We call upon the energy of a master, a teacher, a healer. You decide who you want to connect with. Someone who has mighty power, unconditional love, healing power, wisdom, great wisdom. You choose who that is in your life. It can also be your own inner knowing. And in this space, we set an intention and we say, dearest guide, dearest master, dearest light, whatever term you wish, with deepest gratitude for my place in this universe, for the magnificence of my being, my whole being. I set the intention to be able to learn healing skills so that I can bless many lives, including my own. And now with that intention, we take our sword fingers. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see my hands. Come back a little bit. We stretch them out a little bit. Our elbows are bent. Our hands are not up straight. Our elbows are bent. Our knees are bent. And we see our hands pointing out into the universe. And we see and we visualize laser beams of love coming out from our sword fingers and out into the universe. And love is the most powerful energy in existence. Unconditional love. It breaks up blockages. It heals. It empowers. And as you see this light coming out of your sword fingers, perhaps see in front of you a rock. And see this light going through the rock and making the rock explode. Goes poof, boing. If you have a wall in front of you, envision the light and the energy traveling through the wall, out to the ends of the universe. And this energy always comes out of our fingers, out of our sword fingers, in love, divine, pure love. And the intention of the love is to break up blockages so that we are free to be in pure, full health. In body, mind, spirit, and soul. Emotional health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health. And so as you use your visualization and hold these sword fingers, you're going to breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out, you're going to say a slow chant. Om. Feel your stomach flat, your abdomen tucked in, your pelvis tipped underneath your shoulders. As we use the visualization and the vibration of sound, they use ultrasound and all kinds of sound now in medicine. We create our own sound. The earth has its own sound as well, the Schumann resonance. So as we use our visualization and our sound, our voice, and we vibrate at the highest level. We can also take these sword fingers now and we can envision and feel into densities in a body, densities in an emotion that we can take and we can open those up so I can feel and I can use the first spot that we open up, and this is in our level 2 training. The first spot that we will open up is always the C7 vertebrae here at the base of the neck. Open up that vertebrae and then we're going to draw out any extra emotion, any extra energy that's stuck there. We're always drawing out, sending back to the universe, back to unconditional love, and then we're always palming back in through our heart center right here. Palming back in, and I'm visualizing that I have my own C7 vertebrae right here. We're palming back in unconditional love. So to review, we use our sword fingers, we feel into a density, we open up that density, we release that energy back into the universe, and we palm back in unconditional love. And then after the end of that practice, we're always going to rub our hands together. It's always based in love. Everything works in love. Bringing our hands to our face, running your fingers on either side of the nose and up into the hairline. And as you draw this heart on your face, say to yourself out loud, we're using that sound again. Here's the tricky part. Say to yourself out loud, I love you, and use your own name. So I would say, I love you, Roxy. I love you, Roxy. I love you, Roxy. Now you might find, when you say that to yourself, you might find all kinds of things, a little bit of jittery, saying, I shouldn't say that to myself, I shouldn't, blah, 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 blah. All of those things, all those little voices you hear in the background, those are the blockages. And those are what you break up. So you might think, okay, I have a voice in me that says, oh, don't love yourself. Where do I feel that in my body? Oh, I might be holding that in my stomach. So that would be a place that you would use your sword fingers and very gently and softly and kindly break up that little blockage. Draw it out and send back into that stomach area. Unconditional love, saying it's okay to love myself. It's okay to love myself. It's actually pretty important. I love you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. You can use your sword fingers anytime you wish. Set the intention. Use the password. Work in love. I love you.